Is humanity's in nature good or evil? Would we without thinking give our hand to someone who has fallen and raise them up? Or would we keep walking, or worse, still push them back down? This has been a subject that academics and philosophers alike have been pondering for centuries. At its core, the simple question is, are we basically good and are corrupted by society? Or are we born bad and society keeps us in check? This elegant study will be a subject of a later column, but today I prefer to take you on another journey. Today we climb aboard to embark on a journey. The craft we board is known for a private champagne and cave tour of Cape Town's finest sights. This journey is far more sinister. It is a journey into the deepest, darkest night, the blackness of the human spirit, the true heart of darkness. Here I must retract. This is not the beginning of the story. It began in 1948 with South Africa's segregation policies. This was the genesis of apartheid. What a strange word. It looks strange and sounds even worse. The architect of this policy, that under its thinly veiled goose stated white supremacy and enforced racial segregation, was Hendrik Verwoerd.
Our policy is one which is called by an Afrikaans word apartheid. And I'm afraid that has been misunderstood so often. It could just as easily, and perhaps much better, be described as a policy of good neighborliness. Accepting that there are differences between people. But while these differences exist, and you have to acknowledge them, at the same time, you can live together, aid one another, but that can best be done.
It allowed the white government to separate and curtail the human rights of the majority black population. This brutal government would stop at nothing, not even murder, to enforce these barbaric laws. How are they different from us? I now return to our journey. Our destination, as I am sure you've already guessed, is the iconic Robben Island. As we disembark, the view afforded us is astonishing. Table Mountain in its full glory. It is here that South Africa's guilt is present for all to see. There are people who wear skin of all colors and articulate words of many languages. Indeed, this is now truly the Rainbow Nation. What might have seemed impossible years ago was now an undeniable reality. One would have thought that the air would be permeated with sadness. Surprisingly, it was not. But rather, there was a feeling of strength and solidarity that the former inmates had injected into the atmosphere. This was a place where hearts were forged from steel and brother protected brother. During the course of the expedition, there was an interesting bit of information imparted. The Robben Island warden was relocated periodically. Why, you might ask? Apartheid's engineers may have been cruel, but foolish they were not. They realized that even their own may not agree with its manifest. Finally, it was time to see the stacked 2x2 former home of Africa's most famous prisoner, prisoner 46664. Overwhelmed with emotion and a sense of fierce pride, I realized that in this little space, prisoner 46664 defied nothing's laws. No grey walls or iron bars could contain his invincible spirit.
There are many people who feel that it is useless and futile for us to continue talking peace and non-violence against a government whose reply is only savage attacks on an unarmed and defenseless people.
Apartheid's attempt to shred this man's dignity and destroy his soul had failed. David had slain Goliath. But most of all, I pledge honor to my hero, our hero, a man of immeasurable strength, indomitable spirit, wisdom, and most of all, forgiveness, the incomparable Mr. Nelson Goletlale Mandela. May his beautiful soul rest in peace.